Hey everyone, this episode is part of a remastered series that Marisol and I decided to record to make up for the loss of our original 10 episodes. In these episodes, you can expect the two of us to talk about the exact same topics that were covered in our original episodes, only now with a new perspective. Thank you guys for listening. Now let's get into the episode. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Remastered episode number 10. Super glad to be here at the end. Kind of get these off our chest. I hope y'all have really enjoyed them. Today's episode is going to be a little bit of a switch up. It's different from the actual original episode, much like episode number 4, which is different. This one is going to be us reading stories from the subreddit r/am I the asshole. So we picked a handful of stories. We're going to read them, talk about them, our perspectives on them, and we hope you enjoy. To start us off, Marisol has a story selected, and you want to go ahead and start?
Yeah, okay. So the title of this one is, Am I the asshole for telling my husband I'll dispose of my feminine products when he wipes better?
Absolutely insane.
Also, it is just an interesting title, which is why I picked it. Or we picked these, but All right, so here we go. I am a housewife. My husband works 9 to 5, so I take care of the kids all day. Laundry, dishes, kids, etc. I just had a baby, so I'm still bleeding and I can't wear tampons. I can't wear tampons anyway because I have a tilted cervix, so I wear pads. When I change my pad, I wrap it in toilet paper and usually the wrapper that the other came in, but sometimes just toilet tissue. My husband always tells me it's really gross when he goes to the bathroom and can see the bloody tissue that my pad is wrapped in, and he doesn't need to see that. We got in a fight about it with him telling me it's disgusting to see the blood and no one needs to know that I'm on my period. Which I'm not on my period. I'm bleeding from birthing a baby. I told him I would start disposing of my pads the way he wants me to when he learns how to wipe better and I don't have to scrub shit stains out of his boxers.
It's disgusting.
That is pretty gross. He told me I was out of line and has slept in the guest room the last couple of nights. Am I the asshole?
Absolutely not.
No.
First of all, a grown-ass man having skid marks on his fucking tidy whities, that's disgusting.
She just had a baby.
Yeah.
His baby. And he's over here complaining.
Yeah, I mean, recently we were talking about, because, all right, I'm going to keep it real, y'all. I got a hairy butthole.
Oh, yes.
And it's hard. You definitely got to do a little extra maintenance down there, compared to others who got it nice and clean, i.e. no hair,
Yes.
And so, I mean, maybe he's in that situation, but even then, I wipe until it is a clean, perfectly white tissue. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Piece of toilet paper. It's to have skid marks and then to have your wife clean them out.
That's pretty gross. Like, although I would not want to do that.
It's probably like the dynamic in the household, how she does the cleaning and, all those things, which I do my own laundry. And when we move in together, we'll do the laundry together. And especially if there's like some gross shit like that, I'm not going to expect you to clean that.
Well, I'm not going to be cleaning
it.
That's
never going to happen, for one. But no, she is absolutely not the asshole.
No.
That's all the husband right there. Like, because it's, I don't know, if it's the normal part of life. And I feel like he shouldn't be getting grossed out by that. Like, yeah, it is gross, but you shouldn't be like, all messed up about it because she's disposing of it in the trash can. It's not like she's just leaving it on the floor.
She's trying to like dispose of it properly.
Yeah.
Or the best that she can.
I don't know. I just think it's, I mean, honestly, even wrapping it in the toilet paper is like hella extra. Like maybe that's like common,
It is common, especially, I don't know, like if you don't have a wrapper or you say like you're off your period, you're not going to put another pad on or take one out just for the wrapper.
I guess you're right. And then, man, you were right. Like in the story, she just gave birth. So I know, I guess depending on how it happened, like some women like bleed for long periods of time, right?
Yeah.
Or like the way that they pee is different too, because everything got like stretched out. Mm-hmm. That, like, how long does it usually take for like the, like what is it called? The vaginal canal to heal or whatever?
I don't know, but I heard like you're not really healed until like 2 months.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, see, so like I feel like he should be more understanding.
Yeah, if she just had the baby.
Yeah. Yeah, she is definitely not the asshole.
Yeah,
not at all.
but I forgot to add, she put an edit to what she said.
Okay.
And she said, "We have a trash can with a lid, but our dog recently broke it trying to get into the trash. I ordered another on Amazon, but it hasn't come in yet, and I don't have a card to go get one myself." So, like, was the top off and that's how he saw it?
Maybe. Well, then in that instance, like if it's that much of a bother, just
Like,
go
why
out and
didn't
buy
he
a
go
new
buy
trash
one?
can with a lid if it's really that much of a hassle, you know? Or, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's because I know some people, they put like little bags in the trash can.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe it's just like just the bare trash can. And maybe that's what he's getting grossed out about, you know? Like it's staining the sides of it.
We don't know that, but
you're right.
Yeah.
We're missing a few key details. I mean,
we are.
Honestly, if that was even added in there.
I mean, it's still weird. Like, why are you getting upset about it?
Yeah. The husband's still kind of in the wrong there, in my opinion. But yeah, if it's that much of a bother, get a trash can with the lid and then put a bag in it. That way you can just pull the sides of the bag and tie it, and you don't even got to like worry about dumping it or nothing, you know?
Exactly.
If it's that much of a bother.
He could have just went to go buy a lid, though. Or a whole new trash can.
Yeah, honestly, right? Okay, yeah, definitely. She's not the asshole. All right, we'll go and move on to the next story. I like kind of clipped there. Move on to the next story here.
Okay.
So the next story is titled, "Am I the asshole for not being a team player within my family so my siblings can have the best?"
Interesting.
Very, very interesting. So, to start it off, right? My parents resent me for being born. Crazy ass beginning.
Oh my gosh.
They were 19 when they had me, and I ruined their plans for college and their lives. They kept me, but they told me in the heat of the moment when I asked too much from them that they have expressed their resentment for me. My parents had my brothers and sisters starting when I was 8. Now I'm 17 and they have 5 kids, me included. They love my siblings. They go above and beyond for them. Always have. And they expect me to not only be okay with that, but they want me to also go above and beyond for them as well. They have told me that I'm not a team player, that I'm not a good sister, and I'm not doing what I should as the oldest. I work and go to school. I babysit as a side gig too. I have money that I save. I never spend it on my siblings, and it drives my parents crazy. I've been paying for my own food for the last 2 years, and I don't really interact with anyone. It came to a head about a week ago when my 7-year-old sister wanted this specific Halloween costume after she was teased for the one my parents bought her. My parents couldn't afford a new one and asked me to buy her whatever she wanted. I said no. My sister ended up asking me herself because my mom and my dad couldn't. When I said no again, my parents blew a fuse and said I wasn't being a team player and I should want my siblings to have the best. They said I should love my siblings enough to make their lives the best possible and that I should stop being selfish and immature. All right, already
how are they being immature?
So many red flags, right? Because all right. We're going to continue. We're going to finish it out. Not much left. So I told them they should have been better parents and created a family instead of making me the outsider, and that it's not my job to ensure their favorite child or their favorite children get the life that they never wanted to provide for me. They said it's not their fault they didn't want to have me. I told them it wasn't mine, that I had no say in being born or being kept. I said I do have a say in what happens when I turn 18, and to hell with them because I was not going to keep being punished for my birth. My siblings heard the fight, and I can see that they're upset that I'm not loving and invested in them. I guess that's why I ask, am I the asshole?
Definitely not.
Nah.
From the beginning?
No way. Absolutely
Oh my
not.
gosh.
So.
She didn't ask to be born?
So many. I feel like there's a lot of firstborn children who are kind of in that scenario, you know? But parents definitely take a different direction. I think initially... Or there's probably some parents out there who are like, I was never like upset to begin with, but there's definitely a good majority who are like,
well, they're just shocked.
Yeah,
you know,
they're shocked. It's like a wrench in their life plans or whatever. But you know, a lot of parents take a different direction and are like, okay, we're gonna roll with the punches, and things turn out okay.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
But to put the blame on the child their entire life, and then make them give up their money and stuff for the kids that they love more.
Yeah, that's really unfair, honestly, because if they're working for that money to provide for themselves, you know, what the parents aren't providing, and then
why aren't they feeding her?
To ask of that person, you know, or maybe they are, but like, again, we don't know all the details.
We don't.
Just based off this story,
yeah,
you know, buying her own food for the past 2 years. She's only 19. She's literally our age. Mm-hmm. You know, and I know a lot of people our age are already kind of like moving out in a different situation, but in this instance, you know, she's having to take care of her smaller siblings, which a lot of very older siblings, you know, my brother and I are only 3 years apart, so I never really had to take on that role.
Yeah.
But for instance, you and your sister, who are 7 years apart, you know, you did have to take that parental role in many ways, you know. Or I have friends who are even further apart, like 10 or 11 years apart, who definitely took that parental role, you know, from a very young age, because, you know, their parents were always busy, or they just were straight up lazy. And they were like, well, I got my older daughter or my older son to take care of our younger kids.
Mm-hmm.
And they place all that responsibility. And then, like, more often than not, those older kids just resent their parents for that, you know? And then they move out and they never see their parents again. And the parents are wondering, you know, like
what did I do?
Yeah. And it's like, well, what do you mean, what did you do? You weren't being parents. You know, you didn't raise your younger kids. And then you didn't even raise the older kid. You just gave them all this responsibility, and they kind of had to roll with the punches and learn for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, she's definitely not.
No, like, that's just,
No.
that sucks.
Yeah, that's ass situation, man. She's not the asshole. Parents are, I mean, they're not really like assholes, but it's kind of like.
They're in the wrong.
They're in the wrong. They, I don't know. There's no guidebook to parenting. And
no.
A later episode 22, we sit down with my mom and talk about, you know, life as a teenage mom. And she's definitely like, you know, there's no handbook for parenting. There's no instructions on how to raise a kid. Everybody does it differently. But there's definitely moral right things and moral wrong things to do with your child. And even if you want to give responsibility to the older kid, there's a way to do it. And just placing it all on them and telling them, like, you fucking ruined our lives because you were born, you know, that's not how to go about it.
Yeah, it's like, okay, there's no guidebook, but you're still supposed to love them.
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
supposed to show them love. And that story, like, it didn't show that the parents were doing that.
Absolutely not. And then to, like, get mad that
they don't want to buy something that's probably expensive, because costumes are expensive
as shit. Like $60, $70 for, like, a cheap, like, flimsy, real thin, like, fleece costume.
Exactly. And depending on which one they want, like, what if it has accessories? Like, we don't know.
Yeah, it's
like, it's not that daughter's responsibility to take care of the kid.
Definitely not. Like, obviously we don't understand the situation, like, in its context. Like, you know, maybe the parents do work a crap ton, like, they just don't make a lot of money.
Yeah.
But that's not the child's fault. That's not the kid's fault that's the situation that y'all are in, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, I guess you can ask, right? Like, oh, can you buy this for your sibling? But
yeah,
it more so sounded like they were demanding it.
Yeah, definitely. In that instance, she was not the asshole. All right. Well.
Yeah. All right, I'll get on to my second story now.
Yeah.
All right, so the title is, Am I the Asshole? That sounded weird. Am I the asshole for refusing to buy my son a new phone after he broke his?
Okay.
All right, so I have a 15-year-old son. As a present for getting all A's on his last report card, I saved up money and upgraded his phone from an old iPhone 5S to an iPhone SE 2020. Yesterday, he came to me and said his phone had been broken.
Yeah.
I was assuming he had just dropped it and cracked the screen, so a relatively easy and not too expensive repair for me to perform myself. But he showed me his phone, and it was not only shattered, but also bent, and half of the screen was hanging off. That's interesting. I asked how it had happened, and he told me that he had been dared by his friends to place his phone on the sidewalk and run over it with his bike. Who would do that?
It's like that question where you're like, if your friends jumped off a cliff, would you follow them? Or if they asked you to jump off a cliff, would you, you know?
I mean, this kid definitely would.
Definitely did that shit, for sure.
Okay, continuing with the story. I asked him why he followed through with something that would clearly break the phone, and he told me that he wanted to look cool.
All right.
Interesting.
Nice.
Okay. He requested that I buy him a new phone, and while I could afford to do that, I didn't think it would be fair to do so after he knowingly broken his old phone.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, like, it wasn't an accident.
Yeah.
I told him that he could use his old iPhone 5S. I dug it out and discovered it had fully died at some point in the past year, which meant that it was not an option. He still needed something I could use to contact him, though, so I gave him an old flip phone I found in a cabinet.
Nice.
He told me this was unusable and completely unfair to stick him with, but I disagree. It performs the basic actions you need for the phone. The rest is optional, and he chose looking cool over having that. Am I the asshole?
Definitely not, bro. Not at all. I think from a child's perspective,
Yes.
like that kid's perspective, he's probably like, my mom's an asshole. And, maybe his friends too are like that. But she's definitely not. Right? It's the mom, right?
Yeah,
Mom
I
and
think
his
it's the
son.
mom.
Yeah, no. The mom is not the asshole in that scenario. She's working with what she has and, teaching her kid a valuable lesson. I know, like, when I was little, I always wanted to, like, look cool. And I didn't have a phone till, like, the end of my sophomore year of high school, like my own phone. And even then, it was, like, a hand-me-down, like, older touchscreen, it was still a touchscreen, right? It was, like, a Galaxy S4, my mom's hand-me-down. Pretty old phone, really slow, horrible camera. I mean, it definitely wasn't, like, top of the line for its time.
Yeah.
But I was still grateful for it, right? And I wanted something better. And so, I worked for it, got a job, saved up money, and I bought my own, like, iPhone, right? So I worked up to that. I think this kind of reminds me, I saw, like, I don't know if it was a Reddit post, but it was, like, a news article kind of about, like, are children too entitled, or are they, like, getting experienced or not? That sounded weird. I put that wrong. Are they getting exposed to technology too early on? Like how children are, like, babies, they have, like, tablets and shit already, I mean, all they're doing is, like, watching their kids shows on them, but it's kind of like, they're getting exposed to that really early on, so they don't really develop good social skills, and then they get kind of addicted to that. Like, the only way that they can enjoy their time is, like, being on the phone, playing a video game or watching a video or watching a movie.
Yeah.
And it kind of sounds like that's what's happening. Like, the kid, right? Obviously, I think it was in the context of the story, he did good, right? Like, in school.
Yeah, he got all A's and stuff, which is why the parent bought him a new phone.
Okay. Yeah. So, see that, he's getting rewarded for his hard work, but he made a dumbass decision, ran over his phone, and broke it. And in that instance, it's kind of like him asking for a new one again.
Like, he didn't do anything to deserve it.
Yeah, it's like entitled. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, well, I did good, like, in school, and I broke my phone. Like, I deserve to get a new one. I was like, not really.
You broke it on purpose.
Yeah.
If you think about it. Like, what did he think was going to happen? He was going to run over it and it would be fine?
Yeah, that's just him not thinking. But, I mean, I've done my fair share of stupid stuff back in elementary and middle school. I mean, shit, even high school, And, knowing that it was a bad idea and, bad shit happened. And you got to learn from those mistakes.
You have to live with the consequences.
Yeah.
And his consequence is having a flip phone now.
Yeah. And, I mean, it gets the job done. That's kind of like really spoiled kids who, like, I'm very thankful. Like, in a sense, I'm spoiled. You know what I mean? But I understand that I'm spoiled. Like, I don't take it for granted, Like, my parents were able to get me my car, and I'm very thankful for that, And, like, my dad paid for my first, what do you call it? My first oil change, and he paid for my first, like, my switching a tire change or whatever. So he got me all
like rotating tires?
No, like new tires.
Oh,
he paid for my first round of new tires, which I appreciate, So he was paying for all these first, and obviously I took over after that. I've started paying more and more. So in that sense, yes, I am spoiled, but I'm not like.
You're not entitled.
Yeah.
Or you don't feel entitled.
Yeah, I don't feel entitled, definitely. Like, I understand where I'm at and the things that I have, and I'm grateful for all of it. But, there's like those kids who get a car, like their parents buy them a car, and then they're like, I don't like it. You know what I mean? I don't know how you could be like that. Like, I understand maybe, like, okay, I don't really like the way it looks, but thank you for the car. It's going to get me to where I need to be.
Yeah.
I think that's understandable. Like, not liking a car is definitely understandable.
Like, maybe you don't like something about it, but it's still a car.
Yeah, but you shouldn't be, like, resenting and being like, return that shit, give me another one. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have the most badass car, but it's definitely not like the worst, and it gets me from A to B. And that's all that really matters. And in hindsight, like, I probably would have even told my dad, like, we can go even cheaper than this. But that's all it is. It's just hindsight. Like, in the moment, being a kid, you really look at a lot of shit, and I think being a kid, like, most kids do feel entitled in a sense. And it kind of takes like your parents or like your guardians saying no. Mm-hmm. And then years down the line, you look back and you're like, I'm glad they said that. Because if they would have just continued to say yes over and over to things that I wanted, I was like, I don't know how it would turn out. Like me, if my parents would have just said yes to everything that I ever asked for, I don't think I would be nearly the same guy I am right now.
Yeah.
It's just, it builds character. So in that instance, definitely the mom is not the asshole.
No,
and
I don't think so.
That kid is just gonna not really live. Oh shit! I don't know if my laptop. I don't think it picked it up, but
I don't think they. Can
I got a notification on my laptop. No, yeah. So, what was I saying?
No, yeah, definitely the parent is not the asshole.
Oh yeah.
The kid was just being entitled.
Yeah, and he doesn't even. It's not even so much like, oh, now I gotta live with the flip phone. I was like, that's what you got, and it's doing what you need it to do. Like, it's a communication device for
your parents.
And then you can still text and call your friends. You're not gonna have these badass text bubbles, and you're not gonna be able to play games on it. But hey, if you wanted that, you should have not done that shit to your phone. Like your nice one.
Yeah, and I think eventually the son will understand. It's just right now.
Yeah, and I'm sure the mom will come around and like get him that phone, but she wants to see that he
learns his lesson.
Yeah, that he's learned his lesson and that he's matured enough to like realize how expensive shit really is.
Yeah,
especially
not
like that.
Do it again.
Yeah, like I've dropped my phone, and I always get scared, but it's kind of like my Galaxy S4. I was a little bit kind of like reckless with it because it was a hand-me-down, and I didn't buy it. But then after that very first phone that I got as a hand-me-down, I bought my iPhone 8, and I was very careful with that because I was like, this shit cost me like $500, which isn't anywhere near how much they cost now, right? Because my iPhone 11, how much did my iPhone 11 cost me? I think it was like $800. That's the one I have right now.
Yeah, it was up there for sure.
It was $800, but I decided that I wanted to get myself that, right? But once you start buying stuff for yourself, you really realize just like
how expensive everything is.
Yeah, and you're really careful with stuff, or like, and because I have a better appreciation for things, like my parents, they got me my laptop when I graduated, right? Mm-hmm. Like as a graduation present. Super thankful. That's what we used to record the podcast.
Yeah.
And it was also an expensive piece of tech. And I take care of this thing so much. The screen still looks brand new. It's so shiny and stuff. Wipe it down all the time. I clean the keyboard. If there's any hair, like, because I have, like, my beard hairs fall onto the keyboard. I, like, blow it out, make sure that it's all good. You just kind of learn to have an appreciation for things and not to be so, like, reckless with shit. Man, as a kid, I was reckless with everything. I didn't care because I didn't buy it. And I had no, like, concept of, like, money or, how much stuff, even if it seems cheap, can add up over time, if you continuously are reckless with it. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I don't know. All right. Let's get into the next story, though.
Yeah.
This is our last story that we picked. This was kind of a long one. So, it's, am I the asshole for telling my parents I won't visit them at home or come back for the holidays?
Okay.
Sorry. Oh, my goodness.
You haven't even eaten anything.
Yeah, I know. By the way, we got coffee from this place. It was called Culture Cafe with a K. Very good. Definitely go check them out. They're kind of by the King William area.
Yeah.
Like right by there. So check them out. Real good. Shout out to them. All right. So my entire life, I had what I was told were severe allergies. I constantly had a runny nose or got headaches because of how stuffed up my sinuses were. There's a home video of me with the runny nose as a baby. My parents gave me allergy meds, but they never worked enough or made me tired. I missed lots of school when I was a kid because my headache was too bad for me to go to school, or the school thought I had a cold and made me go home. I was shy when I was a kid, and I did get made fun of a lot for being the kid whose nose was literally dripping all the time. I'll say my grades and my self-confidence were not great. I tried to get into college when I was done with high school, but my grades and attendance were a barrier. I tried again the next year, and I did get into a community college because I won an essay contest. I got free tuition for a 2-year associate's degree. The campus isn't here, but I found a part-time job and a room to rent. I started college in August. Since I've been here, I haven't had a single headache when I used to get one at least once a week, with my nose no longer being runny or having drips. I haven't had to blow my nose or had any stuffiness in 2 months. I know it sounds lame to regular people, but I can't believe how good it is to breathe properly. I haven't missed any of my classes at all. So I couldn't figure out why at first. The place I'm staying at has 2 cats, 2 dogs, there's a garden, and there's a forest with more trees around where I'm staying on campus. I thought my allergies would be going haywire. I grew up with no pets in the city, and my allergies were bad. Living here has made me realize how filthy and run down my parents' and my grandparents' houses were.
Damn.
Yeah, I know, that sucks. Usually grandparents got like, nice dust-free houses and shit. At least mine.
Yeah, they're always cleaning.
Right? I mean, what else are they going to do? They're old. So growing up, I thought it was normal, but I'm realizing it was not. The doctor I saw here said my parents had dust, mold, dirt, and other stuff, and it would definitely affect my sinuses. When I say filthy and run down, I mean the entire bath and shower were crusted over with mold in the basement and actual dirt everywhere. There were old magazines, newspapers, paint, and wallpaper peeling with thick dust all over the walls. When I told my parents I wasn't having allergy trouble, they said the doctors told them when I was a baby that dirt and dust could bother me, but they never told me that they never tried to clean their house. My mom is a pharmacist and my dad is a dentist. We weren't poor, they were just lazy.
That's horrible.
That is bad. All right, we got the last little bit of it right here. So until I moved here, I thought people with nice looking clean houses only happened on TV. I never had any friends whose houses I went to, and besides my 2 grandparents' houses, we never went anywhere. I told my parents I won't visit them at the house or come for the holidays unless they clean. I said they can come here or we can meet in public. They're really mad at me now, and so are my grandparents, but I don't think it's unreasonable for me to want to avoid a runny nose and headaches after having to deal with it for 19 years. So, am I the asshole?
No, I don't think so. Because that's their entire life that they've been going through that. Yeah. And I wouldn't want to have to deal with that anymore.
Yeah. Like, I have seasonal allergies. Right now, it's like allergy season for me. Yeah. And
like, it sucks. So I can't imagine going through that for like my entire life.
Right.
And then having like your parents or your family know that, oh, it's probably because the house is dirty and not doing anything about it. That sucks. I mean, yeah, it might be an inconvenience for them to clean or to drive to wherever they are.
That's gross. Did you see what the person said? Crusted over
I
with
know.
mold
so like
and dust?
to them, it's an inconvenience to do that.
Yeah.
Right? And you know what? They don't even have to clean. They could hire somebody to clean it for them.
That's just like basic. Yeah, especially they were like, we're not, poor. They're a dentist and a pharmacist.
Yeah.
You can afford like at least once a month to have somebody come and professionally clean your house.
Like, even if it's not.
It's like $150 for 2 hours. Like the maids, usually that's about what they charge.
Yeah, but it's
not
like,
that much.
It's just for the holidays, like twice a year, maybe 3 times.
Yeah, and I know like when we selected this story, we were kind of talking about it, like how even if the parents don't want to clean the entire year, when your kid's going to come,
just clean it.
Clean the damn house.
So they don't get sick.
Or hire somebody like a week before. That way when they come over, they can enjoy their stay. You know what I mean? Because that would suck. Like living, allergy free. You don't got a runny nose, no headaches. Your sinuses aren't clogged. Like clogged sinuses can lead to a lot of other issues. And, it's just something you definitely don't want to have to be dealing with all the time. So, I don't know. I think, like, the parents are definitely the a-holes in this situation. Or not even, like, assholes. They just have no...
They don't want to take care of it.
They have no sympathy, like, for their kid, They're like, well, I mean, we're okay. And that's kind of a shitty mindset for parents. You know what I mean?
That is.
And so,
like, you want the best for your kid.
Especially if they knew about it. and then they were hiding it from their kid.
That's what makes it worse. Like, they knew this whole time, and they're like, man, we don't know what it is.
Yeah, that's messed up, honestly. I
I
don't
would
know.
have been upset.
Yeah, because, like, yeah, to give you a little history, right? So every Christmas we set up a Christmas tree, right? Like most families in the United States.
Yeah.
And we have one of the synthetic Christmas trees. So it's not like a real, they don't have like real pine or anything like that. But my mom told me that we used to get, I think it was like the first Christmas that I was born, right? Or maybe it was like a few Christmases, but we had an actual pine tree, like for a Christmas tree. And my mom was like, my allergies sucked. And then she was like, and your allergies sucked. Like I had a constant runny nose. My mom had a constant runny nose, and she gets allergies worse than me. So she was kind of like the person in this story, like, you know, headaches, clogged sinus, runny nose. Like, I mean, just the
Everything.
works. Yeah. And then I, as a little kid, obviously I had a little bit of a weaker immune system, and I was, you know, really bad runny nose, constantly having to blow my nose, and my eyes would get watery. So I kind of had those sort of allergies, but my mom had them way worse. And obviously my dad sympathizing with that, my mom too. And we were like, you know, we definitely don't want that. We want to be able to put up a Christmas tree, have that family tradition, and not have people uncomfortable, you know. Or like my tia is allergic. Like she gets allergic to like grass clippings.
Damn.
So like, if, you know, like a freshly mowed lawn, like she'll get allergic if there's like grass clippings out there. And you know, we don't know, but maybe she might also have had a little bit of a reaction to like the straight up pine tree just in the house, you know? So it was kind of like being sympathetic towards everybody, or the possibility of everybody having some sort of reaction. Because my grandpa, my mom's dad, also has really bad allergies.
Man, that's
and yeah, so it's a definitely in the bloodline. And I don't know, it seems like something that you would want to do. Even if it was only one person in the family, like you would want everybody to be having a good time. Like I know, like when we've hosted parties, I just feel weird if there's somebody not having a good time. Like I want to make sure that everybody's chilling, everybody's good. It's like, you got food, you got a place to sit. Are you cold? You want me to get you a blanket? Like I want to make sure that everybody's chilling and having a good time. And in this instance, the parents just don't have that towards their only child, it seems like, because the person in the story didn't mention any siblings or anything like that, you know. So it's like, it's just one child. It's not like you're having to make all these special accommodations
for everybody.
I was like, just
one person,
mop the floor and dust. That's all they're asking for, you know, at the bare minimum. But I don't know. And then even to let it get to that point, like that's gross. Like I don't clean my restroom probably as consistently as I should, but I do clean it. And, you know, I get down and dirty, and that's, I mean, you could eat off of that bathtub. I'm talking clean, real nice. Why are you looking at me like that? She looked at me with a face of pure disgust. Babe, I really clean.
It's just, I've seen your restroom when it gets dirty, and I can't like unsee it.
Damn, babe, it does not get that dirty.
No, I know, but I mean, like, I've seen it get dirty.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine myself like eating off of like the tub.
Honestly, it's not even that it gets dirty. It's just like I shed like a freaking dog. So there's just hair everywhere. So it seems dirtier than it actually is, but I just body hair everywhere.
No, I know, but I can't imagine eating off of it. So like I was trying to imagine, and like
yeah, so like
the
majority of the clean is really kind of like sweeping and vacuuming the restroom, and then, you know, general wipe downs of the toilet and the bathtub and the sink and stuff, you know, like toothpaste or whatever, mouthwash that, you know, like stains the ceramic of the sink. You know, I don't know. It seems pretty basic. It takes me less than 30 minutes to do like a deep clean on the restroom. And I feel like, you know, if you've lived in a house for long enough, you really got a good handle on how you should be able to clean your house efficiently. You know, and I don't know. It just seems like something basic. Like you should, like, I know when we lived together, we've talked about how like we're going to have like on one day on the weekend, you know, we're going to take like an hour or two to just clean the whole house and knock it out, you know. And that's another thing too. I know families who are like reliant on one person to clean the whole house. Just make it a family effort. You know what I mean? Like that's how my family does it. My brother, like everybody takes care of their own room. You know, I clean my own room. Diego cleans his own room. My parents or my mom cleans her room, right? But then, there's like the rest of the house. My brother and I take care of the upstairs, and then my dad and my mom take care of the downstairs. And my mom does mostly clean the downstairs, but when my dad is here, he'll help, he'll dust, do his little thing. Although his version of clean is very different than mine and my mom's. Although my mom, she does do more detail than me. But my dad definitely kind of skims over stuff. So I don't know, just throwing that out there. I don't know. I felt like I need
your dad.
No, but like, you know what I mean? Like everybody does something. They have a part to play in the cleaning of the house. And I'm just like, come on. Like a duo, the parents can't tag team it up. Like you got one restroom, I got the other. You got one bedroom, I got the other type shit,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like we're going to have a nice house. We're going to have a clean, amazing house. I mean, we're going to have beautiful artwork on the wall, TV, it's going to be dust free for the most part. Like, cause there's definitely going to be like, it's just going to be the two of us for a little bit. So there's going to be parts of the house like that we probably don't go to very often. And that's probably what's going to get the most dusty. You know what I mean? Like the recording equipment, this shit gets dusty so often, but because it's like, we only sit down and record for a little bit and we're only touching like small parts. Like we're touching the microphones. So like right here, I mean, there's dust on the mic stand and then like on the table, which I dust down like once every 3 days.
I'm like trying to look now.
Yeah, no, that's not too bad. Like these, but yeah. I dust my room pretty frequently actually. That's the thing I do the most frequent. And then I vacuum very often. Speaking of which, I probably do got to vacuum again. I'm just like looking around now because we recorded my room. I think I've mentioned that before.
Yeah, I think so.
But no, yeah, I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Did you have any other comments though on these stories?
Nah, they're just crazy. Like I feel like people post them knowing they're not the asshole, but then like they just need reassurance. Like maybe I am.
I've seen some people
where they are.
Yeah, where they are definitely the asshole.
I just haven't seen a lot of them. Like I mainly see ones where they aren't.
Yeah, like it's kind of like a definitive like, no, you're not the asshole. You
it's
know
just
what I mean?
So crazy. Like some stuff like that happens.
Yeah, I don't know if they're all true. Like I'm sure some of them just post them to like have content.
Oh, for sure.
But there's definitely some true ones for sure. But we kind of wanted to do like this style of episode as a reoccurring thing.
Yeah.
Because as of this recording, we're going to be done with the remastered episodes.
That's crazy. Good to us.
Yeah, I know. And then we're going to start doing one of these, not necessarily like an Am I the Asshole, but like a Reddit story reading. Maybe there's like an article on Reddit.
Something that we find interesting.
Yeah. Or not even specifically Reddit, but like something. A reading, an article, a story that we find that we feel like would be kind of interesting to just have a discussion about. So we're going to be trying to do those once a month. So we release bi-weekly, so that means we'll have one of those episodes and then another one with a specific topic.
Yeah.
But yeah, just to let y'all know that. But
so we hope you liked this.
Yeah.
I know I did. It was fun.
Yeah, it was really fun. Really enjoyed it. I wish I had water here because reading those stories got my throat dry.
Oh, we started and you're like, wanna go? And I was like, damn, my throat just dried up.
No, but no, it was really good. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope y'all enjoyed the remastered series. Let us know what you think. If you were here for the original 10 episodes before I accidentally deleted them, let us know as far as comparison goes. Like, would you say these are better?
I think they're better.
Do you wish that the originals were still out? I mean, yeah, let us know via Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. And speaking of which, you can follow us on all three of those platforms at livewithjm pod.
You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, we only got our podcast trailer up, but
definitely subscribe.
I'm gonna work on
be more stuff.
I'm gonna work on getting the rest of the episodes caught up on our YouTube channel, and then eventually we'll start doing vlogs.
Yes.
So I'm pretty hyped for that. But yeah, thank you guys for listening, and we will catch ya in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.